public non-agenda items. Doesn't have anything here. Bills, payments, and financial reports.
That's.
Oh, this is for them to get to talk now, right?
Yeah.
All right, well then let's move on to public non-agenda items. How do we want to begin? Would one of you here first or?
It's hard for us to speak, he's welcome.
I was here probably for,
The,
the one
Nothing to say, John?
Yeah.
Speechless?
Hang out, yeah. Great, so we'll just get to that when we get there. So Terry, sounds like you're up.
Okay, Terry Phillips, I really just came this evening because I wanted to update you on the projects that you helped fund. The building on the plaza, we've got apartments ready for drywall by the first of next week, so that project's moving along fairly rapidly. We anticipate those will be ready for occupancy first of June, possibly first of July at the very latest. That project was really jump started with $100,000-ish grant from TURA, so that was much appreciated to get that building looking good, and we're well underway now. Our investment personally on that building's been right at $2 million once the project's done. And we did come before P&J a few months ago, asking about the SDC fees. So we're reapplying for that, so I just wanna maybe warm you up to that. We are gonna reduce our ask on that. I think we're around $110,000. I went ahead and had the sprinkler system installed and paid for that myself. So at this point, we're just gonna go after SDC fees. Over on the Beals building, nothing new there, except we've been working with an architect and an engineer to finalize the plans for that. We hope to take that to city for their approval within the next 4 to 8 weeks. And I would be hopeful that we would be ready to start that project by fall or early winter at the very latest. On that building, you also had contributed about $280,000 to the beginning of that. So far we've burned up money on repairing the west wall and putting a new roof on it. So we've still got some funds there that we'll probably utilize with the engineering, the architecture, and paint. So that's what's going on.
apartments are in the bank building.
9, 8 up. They're all about 700 square foot, 1 bed, 1 bath. And then downstairs, we've got 1 88 unit. That's also 1 bed, 1 bath.
Is that the one that's in the corner by the?
Closest to the old rodeo, yes. Yeah, that was kind of leftover space, so we utilized that for 88 unit. We've had to be very, very careful with power to that building. Because we had no more available when ODOT did the street improvements. They kind of landlocked that building with the power that it had. And according to PUD and their engineers, there was no way to get more power to the building. So we were real careful with power to that. So like the apartments have no dishwashers. 1 bed, 1 bath. I don't know if that's necessary. We kept washers and dryers out of them. We built a laundry room upstairs though for that, so. We've had to be picky about how we handle that building and who we let in it. And the other thing that we've done with that building is we've been very careful about who we put in it. Because it's always been my goal that we kind of revitalize and energize the plaza. So, you know, we were approached by an attorney, we were approached by a mortgage broker. We've been approached by people that, for me, didn't create a lot of foot traffic and excitement to the plaza. So, you know, we've opted not to lease to tenants like that. And we want people that create foot traffic, you know, small businesses. So we do have a new one going in, she just posted on Facebook. You know, on the little Western wear shop. So we've got 5 long-term leases out of 7 spaces. We've got a gentleman that's going to be there tomorrow, looking at one of the other spaces, so they will hopefully be full, or close to it by summer. But we've been fairly particular. I could have that building full right now, but my goal wouldn't have been that.
Makes sense.
And, you know, we're gonna do the same thing down at the Beals. I really want to see something changed.
And how many apartments are in the Beals building?
The Beals will have 8 as well. We've designed that with 7 studios and one bed unit. The 7 studios, if I remember right, are 435 square feet. And then there's a 1 bed unit that's gonna look out over Main Street.
They're all gonna be upstairs still,
They are.
business downstairs.
Downstairs is all going to be like commercial type use.
Cool. Yep, all right, that's a good update, I appreciate that.
The downstairs is gonna be really cool.
Yeah. And
What have I got going on?
Yeah.
Well, I think I've told a few people, so I don't think it's a complete secret, but I've got plans to make that into a food hall. So it'll be like an indoor food court.
cool,
It'll be like Kimmel's fit inside.
kind of like the plaza, kind of like the Pacific House was back before.
That was my goal. I really felt like the city didn't, we missed it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, I
got-
thought it was, I thought it was a good space, I was actually thinking of that, that'd be a good space for that, just.
You know, I thought about that cement building, you know, I felt like that was a hole we had. But that building didn't work out. I think this building will, so, I met with the architect this morning and I believe that we're gonna land on 6 kitchen spaces
Yeah, that's
randomly
cool.
located in there.
Yeah.
1 bar that will be a fairly small bar. And I think it's gonna be beer and wine only. And we've set aside 1 additional space nearest the Elks Lodge that would be semi-separate. That's gonna be an old-fashioned candy store.
Cool, that's cool, yeah. When I was a kid, we had a fresh case there quite a while.
Uncle Tom's, remember?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's the one that, in fact, that was right next to the Beals building.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
yeah, it was, you know, I believe Sunflower Flats uses that space now for storage, where
Yeah.
the candy shop was.
Yeah, pretty close to there,
And I think that they're looking at moving as well. But anyway, that's what's going on
I appreciate
with
it.
with the Centura
Hey,
finance.
Scott, yeah, that's some good news.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
I said, thank you so much, they really great.
Yeah.
Really great. Okay. On the bills, payments and financial reports. Right.
It's not, you know,
Oh, it's over here.
It's, yeah, that's the additional paperwork.
Gotcha, very, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, this looks about right. So the North Coast Civil, that's the deposit, right, or just for the first round of work, the invoice?
That's the, yeah, that's the first round of. It's in the,
But that's what they sent on the speaker.
right,
Does anyone have any questions?
Oh,
Yep.
What?
Only-
Oh, well, I have lots of questions about, the 108 still go LLC,
Mhm.
that 86.
that's the consent agenda, so that's towards the end.
Oh,
Okay,
oh, it's, yeah, they're both.
Yeah,
The
it's
one-
the, we're just looking at this, the budget versus the actual. Which is a separate, and then the,
Oh, okay, yeah.
this, project commitments and funds is also.
It looks like we're spending a lot more on legal services. Is that because we're learning more by, lawyers,
Yeah,
contracts and things, so.
they're nice and friendly and everything, and it sounds like, oh, I'm just giving this.
Well, we did all that,
That is not good.
well, we did all those revisions and updates to the policies and all that stuff, so I'm assuming that's.
Exactly.
Well, not, I don't think that's for this one, they,
Is it not?
What was that? Oh, yeah, well, that was part of it, yeah, that we paid,
Legal services.
because we, but that's all done, so it shouldn't happen.
Right.
And then,
It's a little over budget, but in theory, we should be under budget the next few months, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, so I think what the latest thing is that we sent to them.
Our connection of web services are really high cell phone. Is there anything we can do about that?
Yeah, where's that? Who even has that?
I have a cell phone, but I'm not sure
It's gotta be
Why
more
the-
than cell phone use.
to be, right, I know.
That is a
That's-
little, internet web services. Is that not something toward that we'd have to pay a portion if we're using city stuff or? Maybe ask me, so I'm gonna ask a question.
There was something on last month. When we paid City of Tillamook, there was a bill, and I don't remember what it was for.
Yeah,
Well, Sarah, I hope I can look into that and find out what they pay for.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
yeah, I'm sure, I mean, obviously, cell phone costs us more than $100 a month, so it's gotta be more than that.
right,
I
right,
mean, even 500 seems high.
Yeah, so it's gotta be more, there's gotta be more to it.
This is for the.
For the year. Yeah.
This is the year started last July 1st.
Right.
Okay, yeah, so
It's $130 a month, but
that's possible, but we get a budget that much, I mean, so some.
no, if they're, what cell phone or what service are we using, right? Like you said, Garrett, is it possibly this is like our contribution to the city's cost?
Oh, yeah, it just, I mean, I was just thinking because of the, well, how much over, and it doesn't just say cell phone, it's web services, internet, it's a little. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs, but I'm sure Sarah can ask and find out.
Yeah,
yeah,
That's a simple fix. That's a good catch, and. Do any type
It
sense
was
of
the same numbers last month as it is.
great. We have a motion to accept, other than getting this question clarified.
I move that we accept the consent agenda with the
no,
addition.
we're
Oh,
consent
sorry.
agenda's like,
Sorry, I didn't mean to say
I don't,
that.
I don't
That's
think
my fault.
that you need any.
We don't need any, just to, oh, there's no
Okay.
mention.
Got it. Let's-
Those two.
Yep. We're gonna go into committee reports. Unfortunately, Tom's not here, but Ruth, for you to report some more conversations.
So, Tom and Sarah and I met, with David Ulrich, the site is in here. And he wanted, basically said we made a contract with him in 2021 and it can be revised, but then he was gonna be leaving town, so, when he gets back, he will send us that, or send an email. Requested. And so he'll be sending his contract, but we don't pay him. We don't pay him for the work. But I got the feeling we paid him by the hour in between times, which doesn't make any sense, I know, but then you can ask him that. Anyhow, and then I got in touch with, Elaine Howard because he wanted a copy of her indebtedness report, which is basically a spreadsheet. And so she sent that and I sent it on. He's back.
She's a trainer with the East, right?
She was one thing to trade.
Yeah, that's fine.
So that's kind of where we are. As far as that's concerned, and actually. In August 27th, it'll been 4 years since we received the loan from the Umpqua Bank. And after that, we can go out again with nobody, but he's gonna take some out of it. So we've done, we'll see. What do you guys think? We have some more in the future and next year, but.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, shall we move on to new business? All right, 108 Stillwell. Are you here on behalf of?
I can be, ask any questions, answer any questions.
You would like to request an amendment to the funding secured in 2025. I saw some email come through. Was it just about labeling the costs? I'm kind of unclear where I'm.
The only issue is, you know, the funding was set like specific, like, you know, I don't know, 30,000 for sheet rock, something for electrical, something like that. And it's possible, I don't know yet, it might be coming under budget on something.
Gotcha.
And so we're just asking for the latitude, well, if we come under budget, and we apply that under budget amount
Yeah,
or something else, because the loan was 350. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
you just kind of allocated among certain items. So we just want to be able to move them if we're under budget, we have extra.
okay, that makes sense to me. Very nice.
As long as it, are things that we will pay for.
Yeah,
I think it says it right here, right? It looks like.
we had a healthy list where we workshopped like 10
Looks like-
different ways.
Yeah, it looks like it goes under, she wants to move it to sheetrock expenses. That's my understanding of this letter.
Yeah, the issue is, you know, if we're over on something, we want to move it to that.
Right.
If we're good on everything, we want to move it to sheet rock.
Yeah. I don't have an issue with it either. I just, the big thing is it's a short-term loan and you know, and it's a big loan, so I just wanna make sure, as long as we're keeping the loan repayment date the same. I
Yeah,
don't have too much issue.
Same here. Yeah, do we have, I guess the best, my opinion, the best way to track this is, do we have any version of some of the workshops that we did where maybe then, because obviously drywall would work for this type of process. But then maybe you guys can kind of keep track of these ancillary avenues and then,
we are tracking that.
okay, sorry.
So, you know, if we have a situation where we need to do it, we can just simply say, here's where we are, this is what we'd like to do.
Yeah,
Or I don't know how you wanna do it, but there might, I don't wanna be stuck, where we have to wait for permission. That's kind of what we wanna do, is try to get permission ahead of time, because there's a lag between 30 days of the meeting. And we might realize, okay, we just paid this, now we're under, we wanna apply it over here.
Yep.
We don't wanna stop and wait for, you know, permission, we're gonna lose 30 days.
yeah,
We want to kind of just make sure that it's okay, and we can just do it, we can we'll document, show you, but we wanna be able to do it if we can.
And we'll only be able to go into one of the two things you guys requested, a previously approved budget category
Yeah.
or sheetrock
Yes.
expenses.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
how do we lock that down
I
in
think-
the right language?
Can you just make an amendment to the,
Yeah,
with the two, and we can, do what it says it, I can do it, I'm not sure I have more questions, but.
No, but Hope did just exactly what she's supposed to, write us a letter.
Yeah.
Request.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll make a motion if you guys have any questions.
No, do we have any questions, anything away?
I'd like to approve, the amendment for 108 Steelwell. That would say any, unused funds could be moved to previously approved budget category or sheetrock expenses without further approval from the TURA board.
Yeah,
I'll second.
on call question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nays? The ayes have it.
Thank you, sir.
Pending business.
Good.
Project updates, sidewalk project, I'll take it from here, I'm on that one. We contracted our engineer for the current goal set of work, and he's also going to be helping facilitate project management in the course of construction, so questions that come up, clarifications. Making sure we're, you know, the contractor and so we're code compliance, particularly ADA. Sounds like we are paying his first invoice, so I would assume that he's getting started on those kind of engineer development ideas, like ID, getting stuff ready for the actual submittals. But I'll give him a call and find out, see where he's at on all that. And I will reach out to two people bidding and let them know we're still pushing back on this, our timeline. But that's about it. Other questions?
Oh, my, not questions, but, this is quite extensive, the problem is just right up your alley, but it's for my favorite.
Well, it's check it out.
It's all what I read every word.
Wow.
Is it awesome? No. But it's very,
This is great.
very, extensive.
It looks like it comes right out of the city of Cunningham.
Well. Yes,
Do that too.
yeah, you can download and copy paste it on letterhead.
Oh, I'm sure,
Trust me.
this is probably the standard
Yeah.
flavor.
Most of it is. No, as a contractor, we love and respect our engineers, however. Sometimes it's a lot of copy and pasting that they're getting paid a lot of money. Those contractors are doing a lot, of sweating and bleeding.
My understanding is that when the contract gets signed, then they can start. Is that correct? That's what I
Well,
thought.
we
Yeah.
approved the contract last time,
Well, this is.
and it's not. It's not an agreement. With like our loan agreements, because it's a service that we're paying.
Well, what was the total price of the contract?
$68,000.
Look. And that's just to do the first phase, the way to.
No, that also includes, some job site management, or project management, and also, making sure that we follow all of the laws around contract procurement. So, I would say probably 40,000 and 35,000 of that is going directly to engineering services. But, Kyle's organization acts as, sort of a general contractor. They're kind of acting more like an owner's rep, which in the construction world is like, you've hired somebody to work internally for your company, that then can be a counterbalance against, an external contractor. So they're gonna facilitate some of like the day-to-day even.
So when we get through spending that money, the next step is to approve how much it's gonna cost to actually put the sidewalks in.
Yeah.
And I guess for me, my support is, I feel myself waiting a little bit because of how expensive it has climbed.
Yeah.
And it is definitely a concern for me. So I think last time we talked, we might have had we were thinking about maybe going down to one street instead of both. I think we chatted about that a little bit, but maybe we're not there yet on as far as what we approve on that, but. I think we'll be in the 400,000 range or something for.
Well, we have a massive spread. We've got one that's like 385 or something like that, and one that's like 515.
I mean, I just give you a head, I mean, I'm only one vote, but I would say, I think, I know you've done a ton of work, I don't want to disturb you, but I don't want to say you don't, but I just feel like, I don't know if we're getting our bang for our buck as far as how much we're gonna pay to what we get compared to what we can do with the money for both of this and stuff. Cause I think we started this out in the 200,000 range, if I'm.
We do.
245,
Yeah.
is the number I agree. Why don't you walk us through that process for the people that are listening out that.
For
But we started, the board started, we had some money and we decided we wanted to do the sidewalks.
yeah, so we had started with, when I reflect back on it, we've kind of done a feasibility study by hiring them for the original 5,000 and by getting, softball bids from contractors, so we could start to figure out like what the scope of this might actually look like. But, at the time, I was junior member, I didn't necessarily understand, to necessarily propose a feasibility study. I think that the, energy of the board was that, hey, we've done some basic research, we pulled some numbers, we think this is gonna be a $200,000+ job. But we don't really know for sure, so we've been kicked off that exploration process, but when we kicked that process off, we kind of also kicked off like committing towards this process. And so we started with assumptions, and then we hired Kyle to do the $5,000, drone surveys, so we could start shopping it to subcontractors. Then we started getting the subcontractor bids back, and that's when we started to get a real-time price of what this might actually cost.
Oh, where did you find Kyle? I see his company name there, but where did you find him?
Part of my job was to try to find civil engineers, and so I reached out to a ton of companies in the area, and most of them have closed. So multiple companies said you should reach out to Kyle Ayers, and then two of the companies that I reached out to have transformed. One has gone into like residential engineering, they're no longer doing civil, and one is doing only industrial. So like if we had the hangar projects, we could talk to them, and the industrial company said, you should talk to Kyle here. And so we probably could have continued to expand our search, but in keeping the money here in the North Coast, you know, he was really our best option.
And the Kyle had anything to do with the sidewalk project in front of Homeland.
No, but he was the engineer, project coordinator for the city of Gearhart. He did all of their urban renewal sidewalks.
Okay, so this, where do we go next?
So from here, Kyle is going to finish the engineering, that will be a permittable bid set, and so, when I say permittable bid set, technically two different things, but the permit says what we'll be able to submit to the city for permits. But it's also the bid set, because that will be the goal that the contractors have to achieve. So we don't wanna give two different sets out that have any minor differences, because then the contractors can say, hey, you know, we bid on set B, no, we even bid on the final permit set. So that's what I'm saying, probably, I don't have Kyle's breakdown in front of me, but probably half or more than half of that price is engineering and getting it through engineering. And then probably that final third of the price is really about project management of it. And I'm hesitant to use the word project management because they're not a general contractor, not a project manager, but what they are doing is they're gonna be walking the job sites. They're gonna be verifying that architectural details are being performed correctly. So it's like, you guys are very aware of this, but like, that's how you build your forms and how you know, excavation grades and all those things are done. And then they're going to be making recommendations to contractors as well as being available by phone for inspectors for contractors in the process.
So this will go out for contract. Or two contractors to make a bid on the project.
Yeah, one final time.
And how much are we projecting? We talk about million, but what how much?
Well, we've got one bid right now at like, what was it, 380,
Yeah, it was just shy of 400,000, but the other bid was 700,
the other bid was 700.
And that was for both streets or just one?
Both streets.
that's the whole project. So,
700 or 400?
Yeah, so it's a 300,000.
So what they're gonna do, what Kyle will do also is he's gonna actually put this out. So if those aren't, hopefully those aren't final bid to see.
Yeah, because I've reached
I
out,
don't put it out, or does the
Well, we
city
did to begin with, but
or is it TURA?
all three,
Kyle's gonna do it because that's gonna be part of the job, so.
Yeah.
Last month. We have the professional services agreement that we agreed to. Survey services and design, topographics, and I think that's part of what we have here, is 9,000 preliminary plans. Was 3,100, engineering design plans and specifications was 25,200. Bidding preparation was 5,700, and then construction administration was 11,000, and construction observation was 15. So, and so he'll work with the public works and all those people.
yeah,
We're not, as a board, we are simply not prepared to go out there.
right, that was long at the time, and, sorry,
Plus the on top of the 400 or 700,000.
yes.
Well,
So how much
We already
is
did
that ballpark?
this one,
The total of what you were reading?
68,
It's already, that's the one that's approved already.
yeah, right, that.
And it says here that it's, the project will be completed no later than, June 30th, 2020. Like.
Yeah,
It depends on how all this falls together,
Okay,
sure.
it's a good question,
so it certainly won't be this year.
well, we'd like to think, not that necessarily, well, I think this project could start this year for sure, I think it could happen in the summer going into the fall.
And where are we getting the extra money that, we had 235,000, where are we getting the extra?
Well, to your little thing today, I mean, we have the money to pay for this.
Okay,
So. We were actually to go ahead. That's when we would think about, maybe we want to do half of it now, half of it's. But it'll all be engineered. And I think that was one of the things, so when we first started this, went down to the sidewalk, next to Home Life. Looked at how much it costs. And based an estimate as to what it would cost for this project on that. But it didn't include all the engineering. You know. So, and some of these other things like the administration.
Yeah, Kyle's phone conversation with me, he was like, oh, yeah, the engineering should be about 30,000, so I brought that number to the board. Then he gets back to me, he's like, oh, my full proposal is 68,000. And I'm like, I didn't, when I talked to you to do this kind of presenting to the board, I'm trying to get total picture of what we're trying to do here. Oh, yeah, well, I was just thinking about the engineering, right, okay, that's great, and that number, like I said, was somewhat similar to his estimate, but then we have these ancillary, you know. Fees and things that I understand why they're important, like, for example, the topographic survey. They need to know beyond a shadow of a doubt how to slope everything. Yeah, so.
Is this 15,000 to North Coast Civil Design, is that on top of the 68 or is that part of this?
Part of it.
That's
Okay.
part of it.
And this is something that, Home Life would have to come through.
Not necessarily, they just put in a sidewalk next to their building and they didn't have any ramps.
Yeah, just keep the permits.
They didn't. Yeah,
Yeah, that's our big thing, is because we're touching all those corners, we gotta do ADA improvements.
I mean, I think it's a great benefit to the city of Tillamook to get 2 streets of sidewalks to pay for it, not paying out of their pocket. My concern is just the total amount of money compared to, you know, well, I get, you know, we're under, that's not the total concern, but you'd be hard pressed to get a yay vote for a $700,000 vehicle.
Yeah.
That's for sure, but, even if we, I mean, if we decided to do one sidewalk, I mean, I feel like we have to do something, because otherwise we wasted $68,000. So this is a conversation worth having, it's just, disappointing is not the right word, it's just a lot of extra money when we're kind of tight with what we have, as far as before we go out and get more money and stuff. It'd be nicer to be able to spend, you know, $200,000 to $300,000 and still have money to be able to give to the different, keep little smaller projects and stuff like that, keep stuff going.
Oh, yes.
So anyway, I mean, you've done a ton of work and I appreciate it, because
Yes.
you're very knowledgeable and it's super helpful, so. Let's continue on and see what's next.
No, we appreciate the validation and the spirit of collaboration. I also hear you about the kind of concepts about direct investments. But as I understand, the city of Tillamook wants that region to continue to grow and to be kind of the extension of downtown.
Okay.
And, you know, from my perspective, I see the age of the homes, I see the conditions of the homes. It seems like that area is gonna turn over in the next 10 years or so. And I think that by starting the infrastructure, it's really planting a flag that says like, hey, it's gonna be a really great neighborhood.
Well, that's where Terry lives over there, takes some new sidewalks, I walk those quite a bit, it's real close to where 4th Street too.
Doug Hanson said that very thing at least 10 years
Right,
ago.
really.
It looks the same.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, your house was great.
Right, but he said, that's where city's headed.
Yeah,
We're headed down First Street, here we come.
yeah,
it's been pretty.
well, I mean,
it's residential,
It is.
it is,
No,
no?
no, the north side of First is not, my house is not.
Yes,
It's of a light industrial.
right, to get
Yeah.
the following company or whatever.
the two of you, for maybe a silly illusion here, you've kind of created the root ball, like you're revitalizing these 2 corners of downtown, but I think everything can kind of, you know, grow off of. So I hear 10 years ago, maybe it wouldn't be as possible.
Right,
I think the work that you guys are doing is anchoring that, so,
well, he's pulling it that direction, there's no doubt about it.
yeah.
Yeah, there's not a ton of space.
There
So
is.
it's nice that, you know, and then, you know, money's always an issue in
But-
this county, but.
I mean, you could say that about the area between 4th Street and 10th Street too.
Mhm.
I mean, that's a lot of residential stuff right on Main.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm with Garrett, I the sidewalk thing, I still shake my head, I'm nothing on board, to me, I can remember Don Hurd when he started TURA, or was one of you were there, right?
no,
No?
I was not.
You know, the vision of TURA has kind of evolved and changed I think its original goal has kind of been left behind.
Hmm.
That's just my thought.
Yeah, no, and we don't feel like you're being hostile or personal or anything like
Right.
that. We're just all trying to come to, different conclusions for how we can help the city
Right.
grow. And so, yeah.
Yeah.
Feedback's
Yeah.
welcome.
It's hard to pick a section of sidewalk, isn't it? Cause the guy over on Fifth Street's gonna wonder what's going on.
You're not wrong.
Right, there's definitely a good amount of due diligence and walking sidewalks and looking at stuff, and I think Ruth brought up the point that, you're close to the hospital there, and there's foot traffic to be had there. I mean, the best intention there, it's just, we're just gonna have to do a little bit of decision making when it comes down to it.
Well,
So it works.
and bet perhaps there's also some wiggle room here with Kyle on this, because, this is assuming we're executing on both sidewalks and,
Right.
so if we get further down this, we need to talk to him. He's a very reasonable pro community,
So, we've already had a local person, business reach out, and that was Pelican, and I think if we looked at. I'll have numbers, tell you, it says S3 on it. Picture. Okay, so. I have to go, I didn't get a chance to drive down there today and I wanted to, but. That street, when you get down to the corner of First and Taylor. If you go north. We aren't doing that part, but. Talked to a person from Pelican who reached out to us. And apparently they use and they wanna join in with this project when we do that.
Oh.
So that they can fix that street, because it goes. You go a little bit, the sidewalk's a disaster, and then there's a barrier that's there. And then it just drops off,
Okay.
so they wanna take care of that, but they wanna do it at the same time, she doesn't do it. But I believe we would keep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great, I mean. I think maybe you can recall, at one point I was saying, like, we should kind of put out a pamphlet to homeowners to let them know that their driveways could get done as a part of this, and then. The concrete trucks are gonna be there, the demo crews are gonna be there, we would have the subcon or the contractor, whoever it is. Give us the number, we'd add 10-15%, it would still ideally come in less than a traditional driveway, because multiple would be done at once. But then even if we collected $3,000-4,000 per driveway, that would just go right into funding this.
Right. Well, there's a chance you might get a couple.
Sorry, what was that?
Now, there's a chance you might get a couple, but you, like I said, you'll do a little, it's gonna take the legwork, you probably have to send out letters, I would assume, you'd have to,
Yeah, and who knows what that return might be, might be zero,
Right,
so,
but,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
yeah. Great. When we move on to consent agenda, or is there anything else?
No, I feel like we covered that pretty well.
I have multiple questions. Lots of questions.
So we're going by the new one that it's the same numbers, it just, the check numbers didn't correspond with what I had put. Because,
Wait, is this the new one? Let's make sure it doesn't match.
yeah,
Well, so you're gonna start with one question? Yeah.
Maybe it's what?
Okay, well, I am looking at page 61.
Six.
Okay.
And I just going by
Yes, nice,
What?
appreciate it.
comes next in the packet. So
So, it take that.
Todd, what is Fantasy Hospitality LLC? Is that you or what is that?
Yeah, it's a company that I have.
We have to talk louder, can't you?
Yes, me,
That's you.
yeah,
So. So explain the invoice. So these are materials you bought. For the project,
yes,
and then Hope pays you, and then we reimburse Hope? Is that? What has the
It's
dynamic?
just
Sorry.
for window frames.
yeah, we're self-performing some of the items for the windows. We're actually buying glass and actually building the window frame versus buying the whole frame from somebody else. We can actually, I believe, do a better job and it'll cost less.
Yeah,
So we have a guy that worked for me, John Herman, my may know him,
okay,
he graduated from high school here, lived here his whole life anyway. He's a crafts person, so we self-perform some of the detailed things on site and different things, so we're actually building the windows. We actually got delivery of the glass today, actually.
okay,
So we built the window components, so we have the cost of the materials, the labor for the components, and then we're gonna be assembling those once it stops raining.
So do you
Hopefully
have-
next week.
do you have, worker bees that build these? Or do you do it personally, or?
My guy John does a lot of the stuff, I'll help him sometimes, we use JLT construction to do a lot of the framing stuff, sometimes if we need a hand, they'll send us a guy,
Okay,
yeah.
all right, I don't have a problem with that, and that number corresponds with the check and all of that.
Yeah,
So then moving on to the next one on page 64. Is an invoice from the construction company. And it is the top number, 56,433.31. But there's a deposit that was applied. Where did this deposit come from? In my mind, Todd, you had to give them a deposit of money to start the project.
we,
Where did that money come from? Did it come from TURA?
no, we paid a deposit around December-ish. I think, Ruth might remember it, we had, I got approved for the loan. But there were a couple weeks before the paperwork could get done.
Okay.
And in that couple weeks, we had to, the contractor said, hey, well, we need a deposit. Because we wanted to start January 1st, which would be within that timeline for tourist paperwork and everything. And they said, well, if you want to keep the place, you need to give us a deposit, otherwise we gotta take on other jobs. So I reached out to, or Hope reached out to Ruth and said, hey, can we pay them a deposit? And then, you know, to get them going, but then as the work is done, they draw on that deposit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so they didn't start the work until after the paper.
No, they did. They started in January, February,
But the
stuff like that. So the work happened way afterwards, but they wanted a deposit first. So we gave them a $30,000 deposit, and over a couple of invoices, they applied part of that deposit to the invoice, and then part we actually paid.
Okay, well, my problem is, and it pretty well is spelled out in the TURA contract and everything, we only pay reimbursement for what the check is for, and the check is not for 56,433.31. It's for 41, 40, 33 and 31 cents, so less than 15,000.
Right.
So we can only reimburse on this check.
Correct.
That's where you went down
To our-
That's what we did.
That's what
That's
we're
right.
doing.
No, you have
No, it's there.
56,433.31, and all of those add up to like 86,971.52.
I can get you the council check for the deposit. That's all that, because you just want proof that it was paid, so that would be.
We only reimburse
I see what you're saying.
on what's been paid.
Right.
We
So what
have
is
to
it?
have, yeah, so we can't,
Get the
we
check out
can't do
tomorrow.
15 unless we have something to show for that.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow we can send the cancel, you know, the contractor's invoice for the deposit and a cancel check for the $30,000. That should cover that up.
I think that satisfies that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would, I think we should approve paying what has been asked, and then you're gonna give it as soon as can.
I disagree, I think we need to have,
Well, on,
we have to have the, according to our contract with them, we have, we only reimburse on what's been paid out. We have no proof of what's been paid out, I believe, Todd, yes, but we still need it for our records before we approve it. I'm sorry.
So we need the canceled check before we can approve it, so this has to be put
Just
off.
the 15,000.
Well,
The other part.
You could approve it subject to receiving the canceled check, and that way it's, you don't have to meet again to approve it.
Yeah.
Have to cancel check.
Subject to approving the canceled check in within 48 hours, something like that, so we, in case, so we don't get dragged, okay,
Yep.
does that suffice?
Yeah,
That's
then,
good.
We wanna get it here tomorrow because tomorrow is Thursday and Friday. City Hall.
Yes.
Don't worry.
Mhm.
Who am I gonna give it to, Sarah or?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Are you gonna be in here tomorrow?
if you give it to the girls at the window,
Okay,
they'll put it in the box and I'll come grab it.
okay, we'll do that.
Yep.
And we can also email you
You can,
a copy.
yep,
Yeah,
or
Yep,
just email you.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. that would work too.
that'd
Yep.
be great.
then
Thank you both.
the second item, is the JLT Constructions left. And it is $12,831.21. Which is what the
But the invoice is different.
check is written for.
Mhm.
However. The,
Isn't it?
Oh, the one that's off by
What
$4,
all those
yeah.
difference,
Mhm.
but the invoice is for $12,827.67. So we have a discrepancy there, and that has to be cleared up. They wrote the check for that amount, but that's not what the invoice says.
So,
Will we pay your invoice?
I don't know, I'm not sure what's gonna happen.
We wonder.
I don't know,
He's got a copy of it.
I got a copy of the invoice, but I don't, oh, I guess it have.
The canceled check is page 67.
Alright, well, I somehow got my packet all mixed up, so I'm trying to find out the page was sent away. What's that?
And they came to us now.
Did they? No.
sorry,
So I paid you more, so you paid more,
You did.
well, I paid somebody more.
Yeah,
Okay,
There it is, that's $5.
$4.
so I don't know how you clear that up. I don't know.
the motion, do we just make an
You
amendment
don't
to this?
usually pay more than the invoices, do you?
That's Hope's job to pay the invoices, so maybe she's feeling generous, I don't know.
yeah, they go in and sort of buy coffee.
Exactly.
right.
I'll pay a couple bucks more if you buy a coffee, but.
Yeah.
Well, those were the things that I had questions about. The 12,000 is right here, so that's fine. It was just those other two things.
Well, since we overpaid the invoice $4, I mean, you should make an amendment to pay $4, whatever the exact number is, $4 or $5, $4.32, whatever, less than what we got, or. Fine.
That's being very confusing.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good thing that you caught it, but I'm fine with paying the check that was submitted.
The big cash pay is, but like you said, it's $4, so.
Yeah, it was 10,000.
Right, yeah, if it was over $100 or something, I think it might be worth
oh, yeah,
digging into it, but I think the $4 is.
no,
It tells Todd that you're watching real close, which is good,
Something now.
so, yeah. So,
So do we have anyone to?
right numbers.
so we need to make an emotion with the amendment. A motion with approval, what's the one I'm looking for? Contingent on getting a canceled $15,000 deposit check within 48 hours, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I move that we accept the consent agenda with the amendment of a $15,000 canceled check from 108 Steel LLC within the next 48 hours to write the consent agenda.
Before you vote, it's actually $30,000.
Okay,
I mean, that was the deposit, so that's what the check's gonna show.
okay,
15 is applied here, but was 30,000 was the original. deposit.
I'll amend my motion to, we're going to receive a canceled check of $30,000 within the next 48 hours. 15,000 of that will show the deposit that needs to be shown to correct the consent agenda.
Yeah. And ultimately, the full 30 will be paid, right? It's just, this one will be a reimbursement of 15. Right,
Is that good enough, sir?
Yeah,
okay. Let's follow the question.
Need a second.
You second, no problem.
trying to.
We just need a second.
Oh, I see.
There we go.
That was the second.
No, yeah, yeah, now you can call what he said.
All right, calling the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Question. On the consent agenda, I think we have two pieces of paper and one is the page number and the other one doesn't.
The one without the page number is the correct one.
The one without the equation, no, it's not.
It is.
I'm sorry, but it's not. 15,000 and 86,000 do not add up to 86,000.
No,
Just repeating the number down here. Whereas
The one with the number,
Oh.
page number is right.
has the correct amount of total, which is 101,907.52. But you said the check numbers were not right.
Correct.
Okay, so the check number for Bouchard's is supposed to be 1103.
Yes,
And the other check number is 1104.
correct. No, the check number for Bouchard's is 1104. And the check number for Northfield Civil Design is 1103. Okay,
Bouchard is 1104. Did you, turn it around, 1103, okay, but the one with the page number is actually the correct one, she just changed
Yeah,
it.
she just did it.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other one is not correct.
correct.
Once again.
Good catch, easy fix.
Okay, board comments, non-agenda items.
I'll go first. I wanna thank Sarah for a little thing like putting the numbers on there, but this is a lot of work, right? This packet, like how much stuff you gotta put into this. A couple, minor areas that is our job to catch, so which we did, so I just wanna say thanks for all the hard work. It helps us a lot. I was here when we didn't have anybody there for a long time, and it was a lot of extra work for everybody else, so thank you. That's all I.
Perfect, that's your charm.
so. We were absent,
Okay, yeah,
if we called in or let somebody know, or then the chair just says when. Sarah says, Joe goes absent, you say excuse, they checked in and.
do we need to make a motion to pass that as part of our process, or is it just something we can?
It's not something that's done at city council. As far as like in the minutes of an absence and excused.
That's our planning commission.
I'm not against necessarily, but. I guess the best I can say is I know that sometimes John forgets. And I don't know, do we need to, does it really need to be noted in the thing, but I'm for whatever you guys want to do.
Maybe if somebody hasn't called in, we should check with them. Say
Yeah, that's fair.
a text,
Do
something,
you- I feel, we don't have too many people that just don't show up without, I always contact people.
Yeah.
Whatever you guys want to do is fine by me.
Yeah, I understand the potential desire just to have like a little more information in the public record of things, but I also. We don't really have, dare I say, any problematic board members, we don't have, and I am sensitive to John, being a little older, maybe he's just kind of making some mistakes.
I forgot, I missed the meeting without that.
Some of you are gonna cross with.
The city has asked, the mayor has asked the city to look into. If we need to have two city councilors, must be on here.
It's,
Yeah, that's what we're curious about, I don't know if you need to have two, you could have one and still be. Probably okay,
Yeah.
I don't, this is a conversation we can have at a
The
time.
only advantage I see it
and
happening,
your things too.
Yeah, the mayor wasn't sure, and they were gonna look into it, cause he just curious if we needed to have two, just to have.
the only advantage I see it having too is we're having a hard enough time finding community members, so this kind of helps ensure we get quorums.
Right. Well, I guess, whatever you change it. If the city council wants to try to get it down to one or whatever, we'd have to change the bylaws anyway.
Yeah.
It would bring it to 6, but in general, I would, if we decided to go that route, I would probably. Move that we make the chair be a title and vote, but. Sure, that would be, I don't know what anybody thinks about it.
I think, that we should keep the same number of 7,
Yeah,
but.
maybe just try to do it at large.
Yeah, just have it for at large.
Don't you have it in your, how you, in mayor appoints people to different committees and everybody has committees.
So we don't have committees anymore. We only have, one person for the planning commission, two people for the TURA. The mayor, appoints people, but it's basically volunteer. I think we're gonna,
You don't have anybody on finance anymore.
we all are the budget. Committee, but we don't have beautification committees. The last city manager got rid of a lot of the committees, and there was a lot, it was. Committees would make a decision, and you're trying to juggle 4 or 5 different meetings a month and everything else, so I was okay with. Dropping the committees, we've kind of came to the conclusion of, we'll probably do more workshops. Which a lot of councils do, you know, we'll find out before talk about different stuff before you go to the meeting, but we don't have committees anymore. If it's okay with the group, I will report back to the city council, I'll bring it up at the next meeting, that the board is not against necessarily a one-person city council and then open at a large committee.
Yeah, I'm
Okay, cause I mean, I think John kind of wants to duck out of this part, to be honest with you, I think that's part of it, and we got new counselors, and 2 new counselors, and probably throwing them on tour is not the best idea when they just started, you know? So, but maybe, and I don't think Hope would wanna be on this board, obviously, it doesn't fit with hers, and be on their side of the box, so. I don't have a problem with that, I just wanted to bring it up, cause I know the mayor was kind of curious to ask, and I thought about it, so. I will tell them that our board has no issue of dropping down to 1 counselor if we want to open at large, if that's what the city council is.
Yeah, I'll let you know, so.
Oh, we'll have to change it.
Yeah, we'd have to change.
Okay.
And I have one more thing.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, this probably isn't really good to anybody's heart except Ruth and I. I don't know how long ago it was when we bought the gate.
Oh, it's,
We had a cow gate that
Is
we
that-
spent a lot of money on, to buy. It's a work of art. And it used to be housed, next to, Ray's shop there, back out.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's still there.
I thought they took it down.
No, it's back up again. It's been up for 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
It's a legendary story at the city council about how much money they got. I don't know much about it, it wasn't for my time.
Is it in a good place, do you
It's
think?
in the same place it was, and you can, and because when we went out and talked to the people at Public Works about the sidewalks, I asked about the gate. And then we went out and they said, here it is, and there it was, in the weeds up against the.
Yeah, there's a gap there.
I said, well, I'm spending not to wait.
What did we pay, $2,000 for it? Or was it
Well,
more?
that was 10,
That was a lot,
Yeah.
try 20.
20, yeah, it was a lot, it was a lot.
So we didn't want it just sitting out in the weeds.
But now it's up, it was down for a while, now it's up.
Yeah, so apparently they decided that they could fix it, and so it needs to be washed, probably now with a bucket and wash it, but anyway. So they got the hinges back together and got it all fixed, the only thing that would be nice is there's these 2 round black balls that sit on top. So one of them's all of one ball, the other's only half, and it's like, why didn't you just cut both of those off, because if you did that, then it would look far better. I guess that could be suggested, but yeah, it's back up, it's like, wow, look at this.
Okay, and do you think that's in a good place? It's not a good place. is
Well,
it?
considering if you go look and see how it's been installed, or how it was originally installed, there was concrete that had to be poured, all sorts of stuff, yes, it's right where it belongs.
Where is it?
That's not all thing, so,
Across from like.
I think we can watch it.
It's up to.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah, but I guess it's California there.
Alright.
That's my.
Got a power washing.
but anyhow, so it's up there, I have, yeah.
Great.
So we were all given our manuals, and I actually opened mine and looked at it and read it. So it needs corrections, and Sarah and I sat down last week before
Mhm.
and went through it. And I gave her my copy, and so she now has a formatting problem because computers are so much fun.
Yes, they are.
And so she is retaking it, so. The part that, I can't remember what all the corrections were anymore, there were that.
It was
many.
primarily the bylaws.
But it was in the bylaw, which was the section about, electing, so if something happens to your chair, then you re-elect the chair, it's like, well, that's not how it works. The vice chair becomes the chair effective immediately, And I know that that's how we changed it, and that was new wording, but that's not what it says. But Sarah had inherited that section from Andrea. So anyway, so she's making the correction.
You guys get those last meeting.
Right?
Mhm.
So-
Then all your
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, one more time.
And I have one more question.
Sure.
I'm not gonna be here for the next meeting. Do you want me to, what date will it be on? April. Do you want me to attend by Zoom?
I mean, that's always great if you can, having had to attend by Zoom before, you may as well just put it on mute. If it's impossible to hear,
It's the 8th of April.
so do the 8th. No, if you have a committee report or something you'd like to do, then please call in, because then you can. You know, we can get the focus on you, but if it's just gonna be a normal meeting, I think you should enjoy whatever you're.
Yeah, I think so too, I think. We can, we're okay missing one or two. It's just the way this board works.
You're gonna be in over trading places, trading places.
So we need to make sure that we have 4 people here.
Right,
Should we talk about November?
yes,
Right.
that's, I was just gonna bring that up.
That's,
November's a very sacred month, no, it's just that the date is weird, and we need to scooch our meeting.
almost November 11th.
That's 11.
Yeah.
We either go to the 10th or the 12th ideally, I would prefer to go to the 10th, if that works for everybody, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Shouldn't be a problem for me.
Okay,
Usually it's a problem for me.
so
I
maybe,
can work around it, but I would prefer.
So.
I
Is it a
can-
problem being on Tuesday or Thursday is the problem?
For me, there's no problem.
Well, there's no problem.
Oh,
no problem.
I thought it was like, is that
No, it shouldn't be a problem. No,
Shouldn't be.
I don't got nothing planned in November.
right, yeah,
No, that's not a problem.
I can work around it.
you could work around the 10th. Ruth?
it's fine.
Yeah, and who knows, Tom is probably good to go, so if some,
Sometimes for.
you should bring her, watch her.
Celebrate good times.
You are always an evil.
That's true, I don't even.
Okay, well, I'll give you another excuse.
Well, I guess. You'll be able to get, cause you'll get a few meetings in between, so.
Yeah,
So write that down.
You're right.
Cheryl's gone drinking heavily, I think.
See?
We're heading home. Okay, well,
No, we're on.
So November 10th, okay, yes, we're in it.
Okay. Do we need a motion
Did
for
you
that?
have any more, was that it for concern, Ruth, or comments?
Oh, yeah, I just wanted you to know that your manual is gonna have to be updated again.
Oh, I didn't get mine yet, so, cause I missed the meeting, so no harm,
no harm. Do we need to, like Sarah said, do we need a motion to move the date?
I don't think so. I think Sarah just moved it. You just advertised the new date. As
Consensus?
Yeah, just have to make
long
sure.
as you advertise the new date.
And also that the building, that this room is available on the 10th.
I will make sure.
Yeah, I'm sure I can.
Great. Alright, well, with that, it is 7:08, I'm calling this meeting adjourned, thank you guys so much.
Hey, I wanna thank both of you guys for helping tear down that shed. I live down that street. I thought North Coast Lawn was part of it.
It's all talk.
Maybe they were tagged, but anyway, I appreciate it. It looks so much nicer, and I live right down the road, 4th Street, so.
Yeah, it's kind of a homeless thing now.
Yeah, well, I didn't realize that that the lady that owns the place. And people sneaking in 2 different things or whatever.
They were in there doing stuff.